You know, the biggest thing that makes people unhappy is chasing something that they don't even know that they're chasing. See, let me give you an example. There's a client, and he's sort of a client because a lot of the decisions he makes is on his own. He wants a sounding board, and because he's from another country and just moved here and doesn't understand all the US laws and finance and economics, he wants some type of sounding board. So I'm there in place for that sounding board, and he used me for some key decisions. But a lot of the times he makes decisions on his own, and it's his money and it's their money, and they have the right to make the decisions because it's their life ultimately. But what I saw happen, and what I see happen to so many people, is they're chasing something. The more they make, the more they spend. The bigger the houses become, the fancier the vacations, the nicer the cars. That goes from public school to private school. You know, the tax bracket becomes higher, so they see less of their money. They're trying to contribute more to their 401k. So at the end of the day, at the end of the week, there's not much money left. And so what happens is, you know, it's either a single income or a double income. A lot of the times it's a single income making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and that person, whether it's the husband or wife or husband and husband, whatever the situation is, they realize that they cannot stop working. They're 45 years old, they're 48 years old, they're 52 years old. They realize that their life is very, very expensive, and there's no sign of them possibly stopping. And for at least 20 years, if they continue on the path that they're on, because they have to continue to sustain their lifestyle, the lifestyle they became accustomed to, the lifestyle their spouse or partner or their children became accustomed to, and they don't want to let them down. So all the pressure gets put on that person. How many doctors and dentists I know that are absolutely miserable? They're delivering babies, and they're cringing going to work. They're doing cosmetic surgery on people's teeth, and they're cringing when they have to bend over and spend hours and hours and days inside people's mouths. They're cringing because they need that income. They need the $20,000 to $30,000 a month just to sustain the lifestyle that they become accustomed to. But guess what? They're spending time away from their family. They're spending time away from the activities that mean the most. They're waking up early. They're going to bed late. They're stressing. They're worrying about bills. They're worrying about taxes. They're worrying about if they will have enough to retire someday. But you have to understand, that's the old way of thinking that so many people subscribe to. So many people in this world, because of school, because of family, because of neighbors, because of friends, because of the government, because of certain books they read, guided them into this thought process of getting a job, working up the corporate ladder, making more money. Once you make six figures, that's it. I'm gonna be comfortable. But when you make six figures, you realize it doesn't even add up. After taxes and lifestyle creep, the money doesn't add up. You know, six figures isn't enough anymore. And then you save a little bit for 20 to 30 years, and then to hope that you have enough to retire in time to sustain your lifestyle in perpetuity. But most people don't. And then they stress when they retire. Am I spending enough? Am I spending too much? Who wants those options after trading 70% of your life for a paycheck, and then that's the choices you want? You have to start thinking about cash flow. You have to start thinking about passive cash flow. How do you put your money to work into assets that are protected from inflation and from huge economic ebbs and flows that could pay you on a consistent basis, either monthly or quarterly, that ultimately sustains your lifestyle in perpetuity? That is financial freedom. That's the difference from the old way. That's the new way. Working for money, saving up, and hopefully having enough to retire, and then taking out a safe withdrawal rate over time and hoping you don't overspend. Or you build your assets, you buy assets, you create assets that pay you actively or passively, ideally passively, because that's ultimately financial freedom. So you have the time and the resources and the money to do what you want, when you want, and with whom you want. That is true financial freedom. So if you're stuck in that rat race, no matter how much money you're making, there is a better way. Think passive cash flow.